How to stay motivated every day. Have you ever felt that frustrating lack of a spark? You start a new project, a new workout routine, or a new creative hobby with a burst of energy. But after a few days or weeks, that initial fire just fizzles out. The to-do list seems impossible. The gym feels like a chore. And the notebook you bought sits blank on your desk. What if I told you that motivation isn't some magical, fleeting gift that only a lucky few possess? It's not something you're born with or without. It's a skill. A science. It's a system you can build, day by day, to unlock your inner drive and achieve your most important goals. In this video, we're not just going to give you a list of things to do. We're going to dive deep into the psychological and neuroscientific blueprint of motivation. We'll explore the hidden triggers in your brain that either propel you forward or hold you back. And we'll equip you with proven, practical strategies to create a motivational system that lasts. By the end of this, you'll have a new understanding of how to make motivation your ally, not your enemy. The core theories. Now that we understand the types of motivation, let's explore 3 major psychological models that explain how our drive works. The first is Maslow's hierarchy of needs. It's a pyramid-shaped model that suggests our motivation is layered. We must satisfy our most basic needs before we can focus on higher ones. At the base are physiological needs: food, water, sleep, and health. If you're hungry or exhausted, you can't think about anything else. These are internal motivators that your body forces you to address. Next is safety needs, the need for personal and financial security and a feeling of stability. Then comes social needs, the desire for belonging, love, and connection with others. Above that are esteem needs, the drive for respect, recognition, and self-confidence. And finally, at the very top, is self-actualization, the drive to reach your full potential and fulfill your deepest goals. Maslow's model teaches us that you co-enforce yourself to be creative and productive if your foundational needs are unbeing met. The second model is the self-determination theory. This theory shifts the focus from what motivates us to the quality of our motivation. It argues that, for true, sustained motivation, we have 3 fundamental psychological needs that must be met. Autonomy, the feeling that you have control over your own life and actions, rather than feeling pressured or controlled. This is why giving people choices is so powerful. Competence, the feeling of being effective and capable at a task. We are naturally motivated to improve and master skills. Relatedness, the feeling of being connected to and cared for by others. We are social creatures who thrive on belonging. When these 3 needs are satisfied in your life or at your job, your motivation becomes more intrinsic, more powerful, and more sustainable. The third key theory is goal-setting theory. This one is straightforward. People are most motivated when they set goals that are specific and challenging. Simply telling yourself to do your best isn't effective. You need a clear and difficult purpose to focus your energy on. This is the foundation for the famous SMART goal framework. Esse specifiche. Instead of "I want to be healthy," set a specific goal, like I'll walk for 30 minutes every day. Measurable. Establish a clear metric for success, like I will drink 8 glasses of water every day. Achievable. The goal must be realistic. Don't aim for a marathon if you've never run before. Irrelevant. The goal should be meaningful and align with your broader life purpose. Time-bound. Set a clear deadline, like I will lose 5 pounds by March 1st. This creates a sense of urgency, the brain's fuel, dopamine, and the habit loop. Now let's get into the biological engine of motivation, your brain. We've all heard of dopamine, often called the pleasure chemical. But that's a massive oversimplification. Dopamine's real job is not about pleasure. It's about anticipation and drive. It's the chemical that tells your brain, this is worth pursuing. Your brain has a reward system made up of 2 main pathways. The mesolimbic pathway handles immediate pleasure and impulse. When you anticipate a reward, dopamine surges in this pathway, creating a drive to act. The mesocortical pathway connects this drive to your prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain responsible for long-term planning and decision-making. This system creates a powerful neurological feedback loop that shapes all our behaviors, good and bad. It's called the dopamine loop. Q. Something in your environment signals an opportunity for a reward. Routine. You perform a specific action or behavior. Reward. You receive a feeling of pleasure or satisfaction, which releases dopamine. This process reinforces the neural pathways, making the routine an automatic habit. The more you repeat it, the more your brain automatically seeks out that reward, reducing the need for conscious willpower. But here's where things get tricky. In our modern world, we're surrounded by sources of instant gratification, social media likes, video games, constant notifications. These things flood our brains with dopamine, raising our reward threshold. It is like turning up the volume on a sound system so loud that normal sounds become barely audible. This is why simple, long-term tasks, like reading a book or working on a project, start to feel boring or The solution is a practice known as a dopamine detox. The goal isn't to get rid of dopamine, but to reset your brain's sensitivity to it. For a period of time, you intentionally avoid highly stimulating activities to let your system return to its baseline. During this detox, you focus on less stimulating, more meaningful activities, like journaling, reading a physical book, or simply walking in nature. This helps you rediscover joy in the simple things, lowers your reward threshold, and makes it easier to engage with long-term goals. Practical strategies for daily drive. With the science in mind, let's translate this knowledge into 5 powerful daily strategies you can use to stay motivated. 1. Break down your goals, no matter how small. This is the practical application of goal-setting theory. Big, vague goals are intimidating and activate the willpower paradox, the conflict between what you want now versus what you want in the long run. Instead, take that big goal and break it down into tiny, ridiculously easy steps. If your goal is to write a book, don't tell yourself you have to write a chapter. Start by saying you will write just 1 sentence every day. When that feels normal, increase it to a paragraph. This creates a chain of small, manageable wins that give you a consistent dose of dopamine. Reinforcing the habit. 2. Focus on consistency, not discipline. Willpower is a limited mental resource. It's like a muscle that gets exhausted with use. If you rely on it to start a massive project from scratch, you'll burn out quickly. Instead of trying to be disciplined, which feels like a struggle, focus on being consistent. Consistency gives birth to discipline over time. When a task becomes a small, consistent habit, it no longer requires willpower. It becomes automatic. 3. Master your time and energy. Don't just make a to-do list. Make a priority list. A simple, yet powerful technique is to divide your tasks into 4 categories based on importance and urgency. Urgent and important. Do these tasks immediately. Important, but not urgent. Schedule them for later. Urgent, but not important. Delegate or drop them. Neither urgent nor important. Avoid these altogether. Also, remember to take regular breaks. Even a 5 to 10 minute break can restore your focus and prevent burnout. 4. Design your environment for success. Your surroundings have a massive impact on your behavior. A cluttered workspace leads to a cluttered mind. If you want to eat healthier, don't keep junk food in the house. If you want to be more productive, set up a dedicated workspace free from digital distractions. Make your environment a tool that supports your goals, not one that works against them. 5. Leverage social support and accountability. We are wired for social connection. Sharing your goals with a friend or colleague is an incredibly powerful motivator. This creates a sense of accountability, the obligation to answer to someone for your actions. When you tell someone you're going to do something, you feel a social pressure to follow through. Neuroscience has even shown that accountability activates the brain's reward center, releasing dopamine when we achieve a goal we were accountable for. This creates a positive feedback loop. Accountability leads to action, which leads to a reward, which reinforces the desire for more accountability. Real-life examples. The Google and Netflix approach? These aren't just abstract ideas. They are principles that some of the world's most successful organizations and individuals use to drive their success. Take Google, for example. Their entire work culture is built on the principles of self-determination theory. They give employees significant autonomy and flexibility, including the famous policy of allowing employees to spend 20% of their time on personal, self-directed projects. They invest in continuous learning to build competence, and they create a social environment that fosters relatedness. This makes their employees feel more in control, more skilled, and more connected, leading to higher intrinsic motivation. Netflix is another great example. Their culture is based on a concept they call freedom and responsibility. They hire highly talented individuals and trust them to make their own decisions without micromanagement. This high level of trust, combined with a culture of radical honesty and continuous feedback, creates a powerful sense of accountability. Employees feel a profound sense of ownership, and as a result, they are far more motivated to deliver excellent work. This also applies to successful entrepreneurs and top performers. They don't just feel motivated. They build a system. They prioritize sleep, eat healthy foods, and exercise regularly to maintain a balanced dopamine system. They start their day with a clear plan, often writing down their goals the night before. They focus on taking small, consistent steps every day, building one micro-habit at a time. This is not about a sudden, life-altering moment of inspiration. It's about the conscious, consistent application of these fundamental principles. Motivation is not a destination. It's an ongoing process of self-management. By understanding the science behind it, the psychology of needs, the power of dopamine, and the role of environment and social support, you can stop waiting for motivation to strike and start building a system that fuels you every single day. Remember, willpower is not the key to lasting success. Consistency is. Your